Welcome everybody. I'm on the River Nene. Probably you might even recognise this swim from some of my older videos. Haven't fished here for ages, so I thought I'd give it a try. There's swim's changed a bit as well. There's a bigger sort of cutout in front, so just where those bank sticks are. So a bit of erosion there, which is a little bit of a worry. And there's some rushes as well that are sort of coming out in the swim, which is great to see. Obviously from a fish view, I've just got to be a bit careful if I do manage to hook something that I manage to sort of keep it clear of the rushes, hopefully have most of the fight out in the sort of main river. You probably see it's not the widest of areas. It's quite narrow. There is boat traffic along here, and all the rest of the usual summer river users, idiots and all. But yeah, it's a nice little area. There's a couple of trees, willows to my right, so there's a good bit of cover on my right hand side upstream. Downstream it's pretty much just sort of straight section just down to the end of the fishery. Swim's been flattened out quite a bit, so clearly someone's been in here, but it looks like it was done quite a while ago, and I'm not sure if anyone's actually fished in this bit for a while. So I've put in a bit of bait just to sort of hopefully draw some fish round and get a bit of confidence, a bit of feeding going. So I'm not sort of 50-50 really. I used to come in this swim high confidence, sort of pretty much dead cert of getting something, but at the moment I'm not really too sure with the conditions. The river's really low, it's clear, but as the light goes, I sort of think the chances will increase. Like I say, it's just not too sure whether there's been much bait going in, or it's been feeding, it's been disturbed much. I know over the past sort of year and a half the otter's been present on here, or otters I should say, so they've probably damaged the fishery to some extent. I don't know to what, but you know, we've just got to manage with that, and I just sort of see how things pan out. So tactics are is just to put a spread of bait out. I'm fishing with 3-foot twitch lamprey and smoked herring and redemption dumbbells and boilies. So that's the plan of attack. PVA bags or PVA sticks with crushed up and whole baits in them, and then just fishing to likely spots. So just trying to sort of find some areas. It sort of used to know the swim pretty well, but like I say, it's changed quite a bit with the weed and rushes and so coming through. So there might be some change to the sort of areas. So it's just sort of casting around, see what I can find, and sitting on my hands. So it's probably about, I don't know, 2 maybe 3 hours worth of fishing left. Sort of not really coming out in the daytime. One, because of working today, and 2, it's been quite warm, so I didn't really sort of fancy chances coming out any earlier. Anyway, it looks like it's a nice evening. It's got a bit of cloud cover. There's lots of things that are flying around and landing on me already, so I'll hopefully in about the next hour I'll go into sort of a frenzy of slapping my arms and waving around like a lunatic. But hopefully there'll be a barbel, you know, that will come along and feed. Ideally it'd be a couple, but you know, I can't be greedy. I think one would be a result. So let's see how things go. Right, now I'm trying to obviously catch a barbel or two, but being out and seeing beautiful skies like this, sort of being in such a beautiful location, sometimes you sort of forget about sort of everything and all the troubles, and just appreciate what we've got here. I mean, this is This looks like an absolutely beautiful evening. Obviously like to have a fish and hold it up to the camera, but it's you can hear a bit of sort of noise pollution, music blaring, people shouting and stuff, but the sky's absolutely stunning. There's sort of low cloud around, and obviously with the sunset, looks fantastic. Lights started to go as well now, so I'm just gonna have a recast. Plan behind that is I've got an hour left, so I'm going to put out fresh baits on both rods, PVA sticks. I've put a bit more bait in, put a bit of hemp in, so hopefully that will sort of attract whatever's around here into feeding. Tends to be bream with the way my luck's going at the moment, but hopefully it'll actually be barbel this time. And then yeah, I'll think about letting the filming sort of run from here, because I think if I am going to get a bite, so, well, if I'm going to get one, it's only going to be in this last hour. But before that, I didn't really feel that confident. Now, as the light started to fade, if it's going to be any time, it's going to be now. So I'll be sort of sitting on my fingers, hoping to see one of these rods bend round. Anyway, let's get this fresh bait out, see what happens. Right, so the rods are just put them back out. Moved them up a little bit as well. I was trying to clear some of the rushes. You can see on the right hand rod it's bouncing a little bit. All that is just the flow of the river, and the rushes just sort of bouncing on the line, so not ideal. I'll sort of try and reposition it again, one last chuck. But yeah, I'm sort of just gonna leave it for now though. Just let it carry on bouncing. So my confidence side looks like something's happening, even though I know it's not, but we'll leave it there. Check that out. Big old frame on this fish. It's not one that I recognise. Beautiful, really good condition. Right, just talk you through sort of the plan at the moment. So I was out last night. Yeah, didn't get anything. Was pretty gutted because it felt good. But it was a beautiful evening, so I enjoyed that. I did spread some bait out here last night with the intention of coming back this morning. So exactly what I did. I've started off sort of downstream, just at the sort of last swim, just to give that a try. Gave it half an hour, sort of few knocks. Thought one rod was going to go. There was a big snatch round on the rod, and the sort of bait come back sort of broken, which was probably softened and whatever sort of grabbed it. Managed to get away with it, but didn't hook. So I fished there for sort of half an hour. Come back up into the swim I was in last night. And just sort of thought, well, it's worth a try. I've sort of put some baits. Hopefully there's a few fish around. Had the one bream, and then sort of recast a little bit further. I'd say it was probably a little bit further down from where I have been fishing, and just thought that was that was my chances gone. And as often is the case, it's sort of when you least expect it to happen, something does happen. So I was sort of on my phone at the time, so I was just looking up something on the internet, and then I just heard the clutch going, so I completely missed the bite. Hopefully got that on camera, because it'd be great to see, and it just sort of, you could just tell it was a barbel. But one of the telltale signs is a decent fish. It was a 14, so biggest of the season so far. Initial run was downstream, and then as soon as I sort of lifted into it, it stopped. And then like some of the bigger fish that I've had, it then made the run upstream, so it just gradually and slowly moved its way upstream into the rushes that I wanted to avoid, that I knew that were there and sort of talked about on yesterday's video. So it got itself in them, got itself tangled round them, but managed to keep the pressure on, got it through, and then it sort of just had a few lunges. Thought I'd sort of got it tired out, ready to net. Sort of laid on its side, and just as I went to net it, then it did that sort of typical lunge away again. Then it sort of got plugged in a little bit more weed that's just out in front of me. Got tangled in that, but sort of I've got a gardener extending landing net, which is just a solid piece of kit. If you do have the high banks or banks where it's quite a distance to get to the actual river, highly recommend that. I mean, it's a brilliant piece of kit. It's a little bit heavy, but it's so sturdy. So I extended that right out, and the intention was I was just going to bring the fish and the weed in, but it gradually sort of slid through, so that was good. And yeah, you would have seen the footage of the fish. Like I say, biggest of the season. Great to finally get one. It's been grueling these last few days. The river is really low, it's clear, There's hardly any flow on it. So I was really pleased to get a fish. Just goes to show you as well, you sort of stick with it. You know, there's different approaches, sort of like roving around. Like I say, I spent half hour in a spot downstream earlier on. Just on the basis, I sort of thought, well, you know, I did fish that yesterday morning, put a bit of bait in. I know someone was in there last night, they put some bait in as well. So I thought it was worth a shout, but came back upstream and sort of, you know, I fancied my chances initially, but after that bream I sort of had given up. That's why I was on the phone. But yeah, sticking at it, I guess you could sort of say it's a bit of a baiting approach. Not the usual thing I'd do for barbel fishing, but I don't think the area is being fished a lot, so I sort of wanted to sort of try and draw some fish in with some bait, and you know, it may have worked, it may not have, but in either way I've sort of got a bit more confidence. Got a nice fish, so yeah, really pleased. So I'm going to hang it out maybe for another sort of half an hour. There's a bit of cloud coming over. The sun's not up fully yet, so I'm sort of hoping that there's still an outside chance of another fish. I am getting sort of bangs on either rod, so you know, it could be anything, could be another bream, could be some of the smaller chub. Just hoping it's a barbel or barbel. Just being a bit hesitant at picking up the baits. So I still think there's a chance. Like I say, I'll probably give it another half an hour, see what happens, and then I'm gonna make my way off the fishery. I'm sort of going to drop some stuff off at my mum's place, and I'm probably going to make the drive back down to London, so get back to the family. So it's a good hour and a half drive, but I'll be doing that with a smile on my face now. So hopefully, like I say, I can get another one. So let's give it a go, see what happens. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Yeah, I think that's it. It's nice bright day now. Won't point the camera at the sun. But yeah, it's starting to brighten up. There's a lot of cloud, sort of just blowing over, so quite quick, sort of broken cloud. But yeah, that sun's really starting to warm things up now. And I think the river doesn't have much shade on it now, so I don't think there's much chance of anything else. So I won't be greedy. Really pleased with that fish. It's been a while since I've been on the river. Sort of fishing lakes. Just enjoying that at the moment. So yeah, it's been great to have a few days, sort of evenings, mornings, getting on the river. I really enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you all soon.